Welcome to the last transmission. Welcome, Holly.
Hi, hi.
We're back for part 2. And also, this is a
Indeedy.
thumbnail. Do you like the thumbnail I made?
I think it's absolutely gorgeous. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
We have several references to the last episode with the same picture.
We do. I mean, the thumbnail for part 1 was the exact same, except said part 1 instead of part 2. So, yeah, I'm really enjoying the art, though. Like, I've included our little Spotify thingy that I made in the thumbnail, but I'm making some more just, like, to post on social media because I'm just really enjoying the art part of it.
I did like the Babylon 5 cover, so the drawing of Babylon 5.
Oh, you did, yeah.
And the original little doodles for them. But other than that, I haven't had enough time to draw them because I'm just like, stuff.
Well, maybe at some point we can fund your artistic endeavors in the business. That would be nice.
I should sketch up some designs and stuff for more things.
You need the brain power, man, to be able to do it. I've just been feeding it with Doctor Who.
Yeah, I don't have enough brain juice at the moment.
Yeah, it's okay. You'll get there. Me and my brother have just been watching Doctor Who, like, on the daily, like, classic. And I'm running out of things. I've watched all of the 6th Doctor episodes. There's none left for me to watch, and I'm kind of sad about it. So I'll just rewatch them.
Oh, I haven't been watching much stuff of recently, unfortunately. I haven't even caught up with Babylon 5 yet. I will. But yeah, I've been mostly like listening to stuff and then like doing work while listening to stuff.
I do that, but in like an ADHD way, where I've got like music on because I can't like, I don't know, I can't work without something on in the background.
Oh yeah, I'm
very. I like kind of freeze, and I'm like, how do I do this? I have the music on, and then I have whatever I'm doing, and then usually I have a couple of side things because I kind of do this thing where I procrastinate with a task. So I procrastinate on a task by doing another task I need to do, and then when I start feeling like I need to procrastinate on that, I do it with the first thing. So I kind of do some like reverse psychology kind of thing on myself. Try to trick myself into working.
Only I give myself a different task to procrastinate over. And it was just like, and it'll be like the last minute, it'll be like hour 2. And I'm just like,
I know.
I've got to go do this thing, actually.
I've got the autistic, like, struggling to wake up, which my brother also has. And like this morning I needed to get up earlier. So I had my alarm go off. I started playing music in my headphones quite loud. And then I was like playing forced myself to play like a kind of not intense game on my phone, but like one that takes like a little bit of brain power. And I only got up half an hour later than I was meant to. That's pretty good for me. It's so hard though. I don't know why I do that, but I'm like trying to get better with it. So I kind of try and like, I set myself a time to wake up. That's like a ridiculous amount early because I know I'll end up not being able to get up at that time, so I put off getting up, and yeah, I don't know. Overcompensation is a big thing with me. Anyway,
I'm sorry. I played an audio clip.
You played? I didn't hear it.
Oh, did you not? Did not pick up?
No, all I heard was just the silence and you staring into the thing.
Okay, you need to add this in if you can. You don't have to.
Yeah, I can add it in. No,
okay,
I can add it in.
Imagine Dragons, Radioactive. I'm waking up on loop for 10 hours.
Okay, my
it's just
physics teacher. Because it's got the drums as well. My physics teacher was really into that because I have one of my fascination or fixations is like radiation and Chernobyl. And we were doing about radiation, like the EM spectrum and like gamma radiation and like everything. And he kept on playing that song. And this was like partly during the lockdowns, you know, when we were doing online learning. And he just kept on, like, you know how teachers sometimes give you like a quiz to make sure you're listening to the lesson. He gave us he asked us, he said something like in one of the questions, the song Radiation, who was it by? Something like that. Because like it'd been on every lesson. But he was such a cool teacher. He was like an older guy, but he was so fun. Teachers make such
really
a difference.
Cool. I'm genuinely convinced my science teacher was depressed because he like talked in a monotone voice the whole time and never really smiled or made. I mean, you know what? Actually, he was a chill dude. He was a chill dude, and I talked about microwaves to him, and he listened because I was just like, my fixation is microwaves. And
do you know about the hamster thing, where they like put frozen hamsters in microwaves?
No, I do not about frozen hamsters in microwaves.
There's like a video on it on YouTube, and I can't remember, but there's like 2 stories of people inventing microwaves, and both of them are like, it's not like
it was by an American guy.
Okay, there's also one in Britain. There's also one in Britain where they were like, but he didn't sell it. He just kind of found out the sciencey thing, but didn't sell it. Whereas the American guy found out the sciencey thing and then sold it. The British guy, something like they were doing like lab testing on hamsters, and they like freezing the hamsters and seeing if they can like unfreeze the hamsters and keep them alive. But at first, I don't know if this is entirely, I might be like mixing some of the things up, but they were using something like hot spoons to try and like get the hamster melted again and like room temperature, but that was burning the hamsters. So they put it in like the microwave thingy, so it would be like a entire body kind of thing. I'm gonna find the video and then I'll send it to you. And then I'll probably put it in the description of the podcast.
Microwavable hamsters, not safe for vegans.
It's a very niche. Yeah, it was like freezing them into like just before the point of death. I don't know. I know weird things like this.
My eyes look so weird. Sorry, I'm just like I've realized I must have like left mascara on or something. But like I'm looking like Robert Pattinson from Batman 2022.
Yeah, he does have like
put a picture of him somewhere at some point.
I will.
Him with the eyeliner. Like I'll send you a picture if not. That's me.
We can
right
insert
there.
It. Yeah.
That's face reveal.
Face reveal. It can be a face reveal.
Face reveal. One of those fake. Batman.
You know, some people do like a hella fake face reveal, and it's like the most crazy thing, and it's like I'm gonna reveal my face, and it's just not. Some of them are real though, face reveals.
Yeah.
So we did. I'm gonna do a slight recap. Right, we went through the first 3 thingies. So we've been through the first 3 parts of this crazy story. So we went through the mysterious planet where we figured out the Doctor is put on trial at this point for his life, because for his meddling, that's kind of what he does. The amount of times I keep on watching 4th Doctor at the moment because he's my favorite Doctor, and it's just crazy. All he does, like all the Doctors, they step out of the TARDIS, and whether they have a plan of what they're going to do or not, they always end up in something, and they kind of just decide to do stuff and like wander around, and like they end up in these situations. So I can kind of see how the Time Lords are kind of like, yeah, maybe he's meddling a bit too much, but at the same time,
he's like the malpractice if he was a literal medical doctor, but instead he's just doctor.
But at the same time, Time Lords just existing, you could say, is meddling in time, because that changes things. So it's kind of like you can't just live life and be like, oh, what if I change events? Because you're going to change events no matter what you do. Well, is it like the butterfly effect? Like the Back to the Future, we watched that. Me, both your brothers, your mum, we went to the, because they had it in cinemas again. I loved it.
I didn't watch it. I was like, I'm sorry, but I remember it very well. Marty McFly is sleeping specifically. No one sleeps like that.
You do have a point with that. You were saying how weird it was, and I was like, yeah, that is really weird. First of all, I'm not getting into bed. Well, he wasn't really in bed.
He had his clothes fully on, butt in the air, arm over the head. None of the covers were over him.
Correct position. How do you know? You can't. It's like, for me, I can't sleep in a car. I've never been able to. Some people can. Too. And I can't sleep in jeans. How do you sleep in jeans? Especially those are like 80s
done it before,
jeans.
But uncomfortable the whole time. And I was
Yeah.
like, it's more effort trying to get to sleep with them on than just take them off.
Taking them off, yeah. It's like, how do you, like... You
Although I
just take them,
literally did do it
whatever.
today. I was so tired.
Oh. Yeah,
I
you
fell
have
asleep in my
excuses, though.
bed.
You're in,
I
like, a
fell asleep in my
very...
bed
Yeah.
twice. I was just like, I'm just trying to get cozy here.
You're
And then
going
dozed off
through,
and
like,
then
some
woke up.
pure
Because what I was
exhaustion.
listening to finished. And then I was like, okay. I'm awake
Yeah.
now. I'll just listen to
awake
it more.
now.
And then I dozed off.
But also, like, basically, you change one little event and it has, like, a domino effect on the whole thing, you know. Whatever you do has, like, a massive knock-on effect. So, yeah, we had that one. Mysterious Planet. Oh my
My
gosh,
eyes
my
twitching.
brain. Your eye
Yeah.
is the
It's the
sleep
lack of sleep.
deprivation. It is.
One of the scariest things that ever happened, I had my makeup done and my eyes started twitching and she was like doing my eyes and I was just like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
But like the pencil's about to go in my eye because my eye keeps twitching. I can't help it.
Yeah. Mysterious Planet. So the Doctor and Perry, like, Earth-looking place is where the Tribe of the Free with that Queen Lady, they beat the robot. That part of it. That wasn't a summary at all, but the London Underground bit. So that we've done that bit. We've done Mind Warp, which that was the most cracked episode, where we got actual medical malpractice. Perry gets her head shaved, changed, and then shot. Oh yeah, at this point she's dead. The Time Lord's terminated her life, we're told. And also, what's this guy's name? Oh, Ukranos. My dad was asking and talking about him the other day, and he was talking about the actor. Wait, where's the actor? Oh, cast. Brian Blessed plays King Kranos. I don't know who that is, but my dad said that's slightly significant. Brian Blessed, let me just look into that, because he was like asking.
Oh, he sounds familiar, his name.
He was considered to play the second Doctor, apparently. So that's a thing. Yeah.
Why does his name sound so familiar?
I don't know. Oh, he was in Blackadder, Flash Gordon,
Star Wars. He was in the Pirates movie. That's probably where I remember him from. And Peppa Pig.
Then he's significant then in my eyes.
The Little Princess.
Oh.
Wait, who was he? He was in multiple Star Wars movies.
Oh, that's kind of crazy. The crossovers between the actors of Doctor Who and like other sci-fi is crazy. There's so many that has done both.
I mean, Peppa Pig could be sci-fi.
Peppa Pig.
Who was he in the Pirates movie? I know that David Tennant was in there, so that's more.
I didn't know that.
David Tennant
in
plays Charles Darwin. He was the Pirate King. Okay.
The Pirate King.
That's one of my favourite movies of all time.
Yeah, so we had the literal medical malpractice on Perry and her life being terminated and that all happening. And then what's the next episode? Oh, Terror of the Vervoids, which is in the Doctor's future with his new companion Mel, where there is like a murder who done it kind of thing, and the plant alien thingies and all that. And we leave it off. Okay, the last part, they like basically are in the trial room again. And the Inquisitor asks if any of the Vervoids survived, and the Doctor says no, because even if one had survived, they would have gotten to Earth and they would have grown and like killed like everyone on Earth and maybe other planets. And the Valiard at that moment was like, well, see, he killed an entire race and he like gets the charge of genocide. So like that's kind of what's happening. That's where we left it. Oh, we're on to the last part, which is the ultimate foe. So before I say anything, do you have any predictions for what do you think?
The Doctor's got to get out of it though. Like,
gotta wiggle his way out of it.
He's got to squirm his way out of it.
Also, the amount of times he's been in trouble with the Time Lords, like he's done this whole thing before. Like he's been on trial before. He's like been in trouble. He saved.
I've played these games before.
For real. That's him in his head, but all like 6 of him, like at once. Anyway, next slide. So look at him in the room. He's saying, you know, well, the footage for the Matrix, because he was for the last bit it was his turn to defend himself. So the last episode or part, Terror of the Vervoids, was him. He'd watched it and he was presenting it to the court. But on showing it, he said, wait, that didn't happen when I watched it earlier. So he's telling them now that the footage from the Matrix has been tampered with. And so the Inquisitor, she gets the keeper of the Matrix, because they're all saying, like, you know, the Inquisitor and the Baliard are all like, well, the Matrix never lies. No one can get in the Matrix except the keeper of the Matrix. So you see this guy up right on the right in the orange stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the keeper of the Matrix. He's got the key on his chest. And they're
Star
like,
Trek
this is
looking.
the only key. Yeah. Also, I've only just looked at his I don't know what that's called, the thing around that shield thingy around his it looks like
his collar?
One of those. Yeah, it looks like one of those COVID shield things. You know, when they put in plastic dividers everywhere. It looks like he's
I never
at that
had
point.
One of those.
I remember
to me
school,
they didn't make any sense, because it's like you're still breathing it in and it's still not doing anything. It's just sort of I
think maybe it's just like a to feel better kind of thing. It's like
placebo effect.
Yeah, that kind of thing where it's like, oh well, it will protect us, and yeah, I don't really know. Yeah, I don't think
it needs a seal. I think I went overkill. I got like watertight mask type thing, and
I got masks with like a filter in and stuff. That was crazy times.
I got masks that were like of the best of the best, and they were graded, and they irritated my face, so I got a cloth mask as well with a filter in it, and I wore that over the other mask.
You were prepared.
Man, no, I couldn't breathe 90% of the time. So
how old? I was 14 at that point. So how old were you? You would have
at
been
least infinite.
Yeah, infinite at least. Yeah, at least in your infinite.
In my infinite wisdom.
Yeah.
I was infinite of age.
Yeah. Anyway, so Keeper of the Matrix rocks up, and he's like, well, only I have the key, and I only give the key to senior top tier Time Lords. And they're like, the doctor's like, whoa, who's
the Matrix? Nothing's
anyone
real.
Yeah, who's stopping anyone from copying the key? Like, how do you prove that there's not any copies, you know? How do you what if there's some real big brain
What if
guy
you get someone that's just really good at a lockpick?
That's what I'm saying. And then the Valiard is like, oh hell nah, you cannot. It is impossible. He is like, this is like, I don't know what you'd call it, but he is adamant. He's actually it cannot.
The keys.
It is impossible.
Like a symbol. It's actually Face ID.
Yeah. It's like the Shield's during COVID. It's like we will not get ill. It's all good. Don't worry about it.
His collar is a metaphor.
It's a metaphor.
Why does the guy on the left of him kind of look like he came out of what's it called?
He looks scarred.
I was gonna say Angry Birds, but no. Thunderbirds. Oh my goodness.
Thunderbirds.
He looks like he came out of Thunderbirds.
Anyway, while this is all going down, there's these two travel pods, which are basically...
They look like coffins.
They do look like coffins. So you cut to this, where they're being transported by the Matrix into basically the place where the TARDIS was brought in, you know, where there's stairs and stuff. There's what are these? Who's died? What's going on?
You know what? They actually kind of look like crystals the more I look at them. Whose D&D campaign is this?
So they open up, and it's Glitz and Mel. And they have this kind of interaction where Glitz gets out, and he's talking to Dibber because he thinks Dibber is in the second coffin. And he's talking about, come on, lad, what are you doing? And then Mel starts saying, I am not a lad. I am not Dibber, I'm Mel. Something like that. So they meet each other, because I don't think they'd met yet. So they meet each other, and they're both very confused. They're because they just came out of a coffin. I don't know. Also, that looks very claustrophobic.
It looks very styrofoam. It looks very foamy. It doesn't look real.
I would have a crisis in there.
Or
Like,
maybe
how are
it
you
kind of
Brie?
actually. It looks like brie. Maybe I'm just hungry.
I do like brie. Cheese is good,
Mm,
man. I love cheese.
cheese.
Like a good cheese board.
There's
But
not. Sorry, I keep bringing up visuals. All the
yeah,
podcast listeners, they're not going to be able to get this. You're going to have to come onto YouTube, man.
that's true. Oh yeah. Plug YouTube. If you're
Yeah,
listening on Spotify, we
you
have
got
the
to listen to
images
it
on
twice.
YouTube. You do. On YouTube, it's you have the images, so you get more of
And our
the
lovely
YouTube
voices.
and our lovely voices. Yeah. No face reveal today though.
Except for me with
Um.
Robert Pattinson. I mean, that's literally me.
Oh yeah, that will be. Yeah, actually, yeah, that's your. This is just a cover, like a money laundering scheme. This is just the front of it.
Yeah, I'm
It's just
actually a billionaire. Not that Batman has anything to do with that guy, Bruce Wayne.
definitely.
Yeah.
Anyway, so these two are like, where are we? And then they see the
Where are
stairs. And they're like,
you?
we should probably go in and figure out where we are. So they go in and figure out, oh, there's the doctor. Oh, here's a load of Time Lords. This is a trial. So they figure out they've been like sent by someone. None of them know who, but they've been sent by someone to help prove that the doctor is acting in good faith, that he's a good guy, and everything he's done isn't meddling for negative, but he's trying to help people and he has helped people. So they're like defending. The question at this point we were all wondering was, who is this benefactor? Who sent these guys? Because it must be someone with some kind of power or
Is it? Is it?
like
Is it the
knowledge.
master?
He turns up on the
Oh!
screen because at this was really funny when me and Finley were watching it, because I said to Finn the entire 3 episodes that we just watched, I was like, I bet the master shows up, and the whole time Finn was like, well, we're like like 3/4 of the way in, you can't show up in the last 2 parts. And like everyone, and then we're watching it and all the characters are asking these questions like, well, who is this guy? And the master shows up on the screen and is just like, it was me. And it was the funniest moment. It was so good. But also Finn was like, who gave the master the Zoom password? Because like he's on the screen and he's got one of those like green,
He's got a crazy
backgrounds.
I appreciate it.
The entire time this background is moving and changing color. It's like a screensaver. And it's the funniest thing because they have this interaction where I'll do the next bit. The Inquisitor's like, who are you? And he's like, I'm known as the Master, which I would kind of be offended because this has happened a few times where the Master's shown up to the Time Lords and they have no clue who he is. Like in New Doctor Who, I feel like every Time Lord knows who the Doctor is and who the Master is. But like in these older ones, like they just don't know. Like they don't
just
know
keep
who
forgetting.
he is.
It's like he's trying his best with his psychedelic background for people to notice him.
Like
he's just like, please, guys,
offended.
Remember me.
Like no wonder he tried to pull off all these things. But anyway, there's this interaction where the Inquisitor's like, who are you? He tells her who he is, and she's like, this is a private investigation, something, something, something. And she's telling him about the trial, and he interrupts her, and he's like, I know, madame, I've been watching the entire time.
Not creepy.
So, not creepy. But basically,
she kind of sorry. She kind of looks like she has one of those Russian eggs, like the jeweled egg, like for the hat.
Yeah,
I don't know. I've just been thinking that for a long time.
Yeah, he's in the Matrix. That's how he's in here. He's
Nothing
in the Matrix.
Real.
Which, how the heck did he get in there? That's what the Matrix.
It's something about aliens, I believe.
Yeah, the Keeper of the Matrix is also asking, how did you get there? And the master just like holds up the key and he was like, here, I have a duplicate key, as the doctor said was possible. And they're all flabbergasted. And yeah, so basically, he's been watching this whole drama unfold. And he's like, basically the reason he's there is the actually wait, there's a little bit before. The doctor like talks to Glitz. And he's like, so what were you doing on Ravlox? And Glitz talks about he wanted, because he's like a really dodgy businessman. He was talking about how he wanted to know some of the secrets that is on that planet. I don't really understand that part very well.
He wanted to
They're
know
like
the
some
secret of the
stuff,
mimic.
something like some secrets that he can then sell. So it's like some really dodgy thing. But he learns that the secrets he wanted to know and sell were stolen from the Matrix, and that the Gallifreyan High Council found that out and moved Earth, which this planet Ravlox is Earth. So they moved Earth to hide the theft and called it Ravlox. So basically, it's a cover up, and the Doctor like is starting to throw hands because he's like, "That's hella corrupt. We're Time Lords. We've had like thousands of years to like figure out everything, and yet we're the most corrupt race." Because how are you? He's being put on trial for meddling, and they just move a planet to cover up something like this. So
Crazy.
yeah, and he's kind of thinking, wait, I've been framed to prevent this from emerging. It's kind of like a distraction, like a, what's it called in magic tricks, sleight of hand. Like you're trying to distract someone with one thing so they don't see your hand like doing another thing, kind of. So the Master carries on and he says, actually, the High Council has made a deal with the Valiard. They said that if the Valiard can adjust the evidence to convict the Doctor, that he can have the Doctor's remaining lives. They're going to kill him off, and that the Valiard will just have the rest of his life, which is kind of crazy. And at the end of this, like, the Master keeps on talking, and he calls the Valiard the Doctor. And then the Doctor's like, wait, why did you call the Valiard the Doctor? I'm the Doctor. And so the Master goes on and says, in every person, there is a little bit of evil inside of them. And he said the Doctor is no exception to this. He says the Valiard is just an amalgamation of the Doctor's like dark side from the future.
Wait. Is this like Star Trek, The Enemy Within, where James T. Kirk gets split in half, so his good side and the bad side of him are two separate bodies, and they have to put it back together?
Basically, except there's no putting back together thing.
Oh.
So basically, but also there's no putting back together. It's just kind of like a duplicate of just his dark side without the good side kind of thing. So kind of, and the Doctor is like lost for words because obviously that's kind of
I can link it to another thing. Superman, there's a type of kryptonite that splits his self, so his good side and the bad side of him is also split. And I'm pretty sure Batman also, he one time goes to sleep and then he becomes evil.
That's kind of crazy. You can always tell in Star Trek though, because the evil one has the eyeliner.
Oh yeah, well, what does that make for Spock? I'm just saying, he always has that on. He's always got like the most extravagant eyeshadow. I think that's just a Vulcan thing though.
Maybe
also
it is.
Zulu sometimes. That's and Bones. True. Well, actually, the real thing is because of color grading, because it was originally the makeup used for color grading, like in black and white images, it was way back. The colors, you know how they say it, the colors.
So they would
up,
have
like a red would show up black because cameras only could really pick up on like blues and
basically like, in black and white TV, they used to the people who wore makeup used to like they would have green lipstick because it would look red.
Yeah,
things like that.
The green lipstick thing is kind of a tall tale from the internet that's kind of been spun. But
okay.
Yeah,
kind of.
Kind of
like a shade.
It would be more like a
but not
pale,
like a bright.
It would be a weird color, but it wouldn't be a red. Otherwise, it would show up like jet black because it couldn't pick up on.
So more of a subtle kind of
subtleties
green
and stuff. It would only be able to pick up on like most those colors, and it would only film it in black and white. So it wouldn't be like it would all be in green and stuff. It would be in black and white still. But because Star Trek and most like anything from like the 60s and stuff, but especially Star Trek, because it was so experimental and all of it was shot in color. And it was
Yeah.
just when color TVs and color film and color grading and stuff came about, the makeup for it was still used as if it was being color graded for a black and white film. So that's why a lot of the characters you can
Okay.
significantly see that they have makeup on, and because it
You
wouldn't
be
have
knowing
shown
the
up in the
law,
black and
man.
white, or it would look normal in black and white.
Yeah.
But instead, Spock now has like blue eyeshadow, and so does
Yeah, yeah,
Bones,
yeah.
and so does, I don't know, Sulu and Chekhov.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what that's doing. Anyway,
For
I'm
real.
so sorry. I went on a rant.
No, that's a good thing to know. I like these like little sidetracks.
But yeah, if
Anyway,
you can
yeah.
notice it on like earlier, like a lot of 60s, a lot of early 60s
Mm.
shows, especially if they were shot in color and it was meant to be in
With
color.
intention, yeah,
If
with
they would, a lot of them, a lot of like the newer stuff, a lot of the makeup artists could only really know what to do for a black and white film.
yeah.
So yeah, which is
Yeah,
cool.
that makes sense.
Cool.
Yeah. So back to the trial. The doctor is like speechless. And basically, the master, the reason he's here, because it's like, why would he be interested? The reason he's here is like the Valiards, is he said the Valiards more evil than even he is. And so basically, he's kind of like, well, I can't be dealing with competition, which is kind of like a very, I don't know, I feel like that's a very master kind of thing to be like, I have to be the baddest, you know? I can't have any competition. I have to defeat this guy, man. There can't be any other but me.
I'm starting to feel like the master might have just like been like neglected as a child because of all the
I think
antics that
so.
he does to get attention,
Everything,
because it's all
it's
attention
always from,
seeking.
it is. And also, it's always from the doctor. I feel like there's some, like, he feels, I don't
He's got
know,
some beef. Maybe
I
he
feel like
sees
maybe he just wants the he wants to see the doctor, and the only way he can see him is like, it's like Loki and Thor, you know. The only time they see each other is when Loki is doing some crazy stuff.
doing stuff. I stole the
Yeah,
Tesseract.
for real.
Oh no,
No,
Loki!
I thought it just, yeah,
I
yeah.
froze everything. Whoopsie doopsie.
Whoops.
I time
Yeah.
traveled. Oh, I
Oh
fell in
heck
love
no.
with myself.
That's what the master would do for real.
No, he does not look. Does
He
the
kind
master
of
not do
does.
that?
He kind of
Maybe
does
Loki and the
actually.
master are like one and the same. I feel like they
I
would get
think they
along
are.
very well.
I think so.
Not that I know too much about Marvel, but I watched most of the Loki series because that was a great
Yeah,
place
I
to
heard it
start.
was good. Yeah.
I like time travel and wibbly wobbly, timey wimey
Actually, that's
stuff.
true. That is a good bridge to, if you're a Doctor Who fella, that's a good place to
Yeah.
start, I think. Anyway, so the
Yes.
doctor's like, wait, hold on. You can't have the prosecutor and the defendant be the same person. Like, surely the laws of Gallifrey can't allow that. And so, as he's saying this, look at the top left image. The Valiant makes a break for it. He's like
Mm.
speeding away, and everyone's like, "Wait, hold on, where's he going?" And
He's
he's just out
Sonic.
of there because he
He's got a
realized,
green
oh, for
hill.
real. He's just realized, everything's up for him. He's been exposed, so he runs out of there. He runs through where the TARDIS is, basically down the stairs, and by the time everyone gets there, he's gone, and it's like, where did he go? Because it's just a room, like there's nowhere to go. They see this like stained glass thing, and the doctor's like, wait, that's the matrix door. So the timekeeper's there, takes the key, opens the door to the matrix, and the doctor and like Mel's like, no, you can't go in there. And the inquisitor's like, everyone come back, this is not over, because she's still kind of like, when the doctor's like, you can't have the same person, she's kind of like, all I'm concerned about is the evidence or something, and I don't really know. She's just very like one train of thought. She's like, I have to do this trial, and everyone's like, yeah. So basically, he goes through the door, and he's like, there's this beam thing, and he like appears, and it's basically like this really, like, stinky, like, looking place. There's like literally like a rat running around. It's like kind of Victorian England, like if you imagine London in the Victorian times, but like if you imagine where the bins are or something, like where the rubbish is
Mm.
kept, it's like some like little alleyway where there's just a
Brother is
rubbish dump
kept in the slums.
for real. So he arrives there and it's kind of like, what's going on? So yeah, they're in a recreation of Victorian London. And bear in mind, this is in the Matrix.
This feels like
So
something
through this
Q
whole
would do.
thing, it is because sometimes he just be like transporting them somewhere for like just for funsies, and it is a very Q moment because it's just kind of
Yeah.
like it's
I
like
love
this
whenever
random
that
place.
happens because the reason
Yeah.
behind a lot of like those sorts of episodes and like any of the holodeck episodes as well is just because Paramount was like we need to film another episode, we're making another movie, it's like a western
Oh,
movie or something, we'll just use
yeah.
that
Let's
set
use
and
it.
that'll be fine.
Yeah. Like we have some extra time, might as well make the most of it. Get like a
Yeah,
2 for 1 kind of thing.
yeah,
Um,
such a
yeah, that makes sense. But also I love scene changes just randomly. I'm quite a I don't know. I kind of, my brother said like when he's talking to me, I'm very ADHD where like I'm talking about one thing and I get really distracted and I have like a short attention span. So I get like sidetracked and stuff. If you couldn't notice by the podcast, we get sidetracked a lot. So
Yeah, we're
like
now talking about Star Trek. Whoops.
yeah, like
My
very
bad.
easily just yeah. Especially things we're like really interested in.
Hmm.
So this part of the Matrix has been created by the Valiard. So it's kind of like the Valiard's kind of controlling what's happening in there, but it's all kind of like not real. Like it's kind of an illusion kind of thing. Like
It is the
the things are
Matrix, nothing is
physical.
real. Oh my word, do you think the
Basically,
Matrix was inspired by Doctor Who?
it probably is because it is very similar, but also what was the OG. There are a lot of books actually that
There is no.
sci-fi is inspired by. What's that guy's name that I've been reading? Isaac Asimov. That's very a lot of his stuff inspired a lot of sci-fi and things like that. A lot of books inspired sci-fi that people don't realize. It's really interesting. Anyway, there's like a rain barrel. Do I have a picture of this? Oh no, but anyway, there's like a barrel, like an old-fashioned barrel that you'd imagine like some beer in or something, like a wooden thing. And he looks in it because it's like got water in. And then like a hand comes out and like grabs his face. And so like he's being attacked with this hand. And Glitz has come into the Matrix as well. So the Glitz fights it off and saves him. And then he gives the Doctor a note that the Master gave him, which is basically like a directions to this place called the Fantasy Factory. And it's got this like sign thingy, very 80s Doctor Who, I think.
I like that.
Yeah, yeah. And so they go there, but as they like walk towards the building, suddenly Glitz is shot by a harpoon, which was kind of unexpected because like where did that come from? But it's like the Matrix, so anything could happen. And so we cut back to the Master in the courtroom, and he's talking to Mel, the Inquisitor, and the rest of the Time Lords. And the Inquisitor is basically asking, like, okay, well, the Doctor kept on saying the things on the Matrix, the events were changed. So how much was it all fabricated, or how much of it was real? And the Master says that most of the events that happened were correct. So the adventures that the Doctor that we watched that he went on were correct. It's just it had like little lies in it to like convict the Doctor, make him look bad. So she asks about Perry because at this point it's like, well, Perry's dead. So he reveals what actually happened to Perry. Basically, she wasn't actually killed. She survived, which is great because obviously we didn't want to leave that. That's quite a drastic leave kind of thing for a companion to just die.
Mm.
Um, Especially in classic Doctor Who, that doesn't happen very often. There are a lot more, whereas in new Doctor Who, I feel like they kill off characters more. They're like a bit more brutal. Am I right in that?
Yeah, I remember Judy Whittaker. She the first episode with her
Oh, I
in
do
Someone
know.
Dies.
Someone
Spoilers,
dies.
sorry, my bad.
Yeah, whoops. From like I don't even know how many years ago, but yeah.
Mm.
Um, and the other doctors do have characters die off. Like Bill Potts dies. She's
Oh yeah, I
converted.
forgot about that.
Yeah. Yeah, they do have some like more deaths, whereas back then it was I don't know, as the series went on there were more deaths, but also it wasn't so common. So basically Perry's alive. Do you want to know what happens to her? So basically we left her. Do you remember that guy, the King Ukrainos?
Yeah.
He was basically like a this warrior guy who's like he had all these outbursts of like I'm going to go to war, I'm going to battle, and everything he talked about was battle. And he was kind of
He was so
like a
Klingon
toddler.
coded.
He was basically, imagine a Klingon, that is him. Like his whole life is just war.
Also,
And he kept
Taran is more accurate.
yeah, he kept on having these outbursts, and every time it was like Perry was like, "Okay, okay," took it to him like he was a child, like trying to calm down a toddler. So basically, she ended up marrying him, and she was like this
Oh,
warrior queen, which was
fair
like a
enough.
plot twist, because like that was kind of out of nowhere, because it was like I didn't even realize she liked him. It was not like conveyed that way, but
Lovers to haters.
yeah.
Oh, haters to lovers. Wrong way around. Love
Haters
it.
to yeah, something I don't even
Somewhere.
understand. Yeah, something like
Mutual
that.
acquaintances to warrior couple.
Yeah, that's kind of cracked. I guess it's like they were brought together by the situation kind of thing.
Man, I ship it.
So yeah. Anyway, the master is like talking about the Valiard, and he was like, well, the Valiard would make an even more powerful enemy than the Doctor. But he said, you know, this way I can kill them both. But also he says that the High Council should answer for what they have done, and allow the people of Gallifrey to witness the court proceedings. Which that's like the most just thing I ever heard the master say, you know.
He's being
Yeah.
very justice right now.
Yeah, that part, like this is not expected of him, you know. Like he could just kill them and like blow up the planet. But like, yeah. So that's the master right now.
He's far
We
too
cut
civil right
back.
now.
He is. We cut back to the Doctor and Glitz. So the Glitz has been harpooned, and the Doctor thinks he's dead and he's alone now. And then Glitz just gets up, and so he had underneath his clothes a Mark 7 Posidion life preserver. Don't know how that's pronounced. But basically, he's prepared because he's like this like really sketchy sales guy.
Tell me why Glitz
Used
is my
to
favorite guy right now. He's my favorite
he
character.
is very Londo, but like but if he didn't have any kind of official thing, it's like a freelance Londo kind of thing.
Real.
Yeah.
So
So
valid.
anyway, they're gonna go to the fantasy factory. They go in and it's like this Victorian office, and there's this guy, Mr. Popplewick. He's basically like, all right, you have to sign these documents, and he gives them like a fat wad of documents to sign. And like Glitz is like, what is going on?
Is it
Like,
everything that
why?
they've ever said?
No, not quite.
Oh,
That would be very low key though.
that would
Yeah.
be low key, low key.
So low key, low key. So basically, he's given the Doctor this contract to sign to say that the Doctor signs off his future lives to the Valiard. And Glitz is like, what's going on? And the Doctor's like, basically, he's gonna kill me, but he's just doing it in a very annoying way, which is very low key, I feel like. Like, not just killing someone, but like doing it in a very embarrassing way.
It feels more like a transaction than anything than death.
Yeah.
Than a death
And
sentence.
also, they have this thing where they keep on having to go through waiting rooms and stuff, and it's this long process, and like it is very irritating.
The longest wait to the inevitable end.
So basically, this guy is like, all right, well, it's that part's over, go to the next room for the next step of this. I don't even know what to call it. So the Doctor steps through the doorway and he ends up outside. And he's like, where am I? Okay, so he's in this situation basically where he's like, I don't know, he's alone on a beach, And then the Valiard's voice is just in the background and like talking to him like in his head. And there are these hands that come out of the ground, like grab onto his legs. And so it's like he's gonna do like death by like this. I don't know if that counts as drowning or suffocation.
That's suffocation, I suppose.
Yeah. So he's like pulled under.
You tried to swim in dirt.
Yeah. Glitz steps through the doorway and spots the doctor being like dragged under. It's a very if you're claustrophobic, this episode would like kill you, man. Like first the coffins and now this.
Like, the buried.
Is not nice to yeah. Okay. So the next bit, so Glitz is like, oh man, what are we gonna do? So there's this picture of the doctor where he's like feet only, and then he fully disappears. And Glitz is like, no, it's the end. What's gonna happen to me? And then the doctor just walks up out of it, like in a really funky way. And he's like, don't worry, it's an illusion.
It's the Matrix, nothing is real.
If I use my mind and not telepathy, but some brainiac power, I can get myself out of this situation. So he did.
It's all about the mindset. You just gotta think that you're not in danger.
He said, with enough effort, you can get yourself out of this. He said, I can deny the Valiard's traps. So the Valiard shows up, and we get a look at him without his hat on. So I don't know if you wanted to see that. He's got hair.
Cute, though.
Under there, yeah, he's got a very round face. But yeah, so they have this confrontation, and he's like taunting the doctor, and he's like, I have to destroy your good side, and then I'll be free of all your good.
To be fair though, he's kind of like an endearing Siberian hamster.
Maybe.
In a way.
These are very polar opposites though. It's like just in the outfits you can see that. So
they both would make the greatest Eurovision band.
Oh, that's true.
With the outfits.
That would be cracked, man. That would be crazy. So next thing, Valiard disappears because he's obviously not actually there. So a cloud of nerve gas like just appears, and it's like chasing the doctor and Glitz. So they're like running, and they find this like hut thing, and they like get into the hut thing. And also Mel's watching this and she's like freaking out. So they get into this hut thing. What do you think the hut thing is, Holly?
Is it going to be the TARDIS? The
Master's TARDIS, which I actually really like because it's exactly the same to the Doctor's TARDIS, but just goth. Like black.
But what is the Master other than just like Tumblr goth Doctor?
Yeah. He's everything that he's just like the
he's very
old. He is. He's just basically like a version. He's everything about him is kind of about the Doctor. Like his whole life kind of revolves around him. But he's just like the like goth version of him. Like I don't know, it's like, you know, when you have like a set of twins and they're like polar opposites. Like it's kind of like that kind of thing. Like they couldn't be more opposite kind of thing. So yeah, and then the Doctor's like, wow, never in my life have I been glad to see you. So next thing, the Master like dematerializes and then materializes where the Fantasy Factory is, and somehow he like hypnotizes the Doctor. As you can see, he's kind of having a crisis, and he needs to get TCE. I don't actually know what that is, but some kind of actually I should look that up. But basically it's a thing he needs that he's gonna sell or something. Because okay, basically we find out that the Master and Glitz have this like business deal. Like the Master has promised Glitz, because okay, when Glitz first came into the trial, he came into the trial. Obviously it's like a very, you know, you cannot get higher than the Time Lords, and also in a trial, so it's like very important place. And he looks at the room and he's like, oh, you've got a lot of gold in here, I could sell that for you. And like that's just his entire, very Quark. It's like his entire life is just business dealings. Like everywhere he walks is just
He needs that Lanham.
He does. Like literally that's all he's thinking about. And the master is like trying to I don't even know. That basically he's like promised they're gonna get these secrets from the Matrix and
the secrets from the Mimic.
Yeah, Glitz is like, oh well, I can sell some of that, and yeah, I don't even know. But so they go out, they send the doctor out because he's under hypnosis. So the master's like, walk, and the doctor walks. So they're outside. Doctor's basically bait, and then the Valiard comes out to see what's happening, and the master shoots the Valiard with TCE. I don't know what that is. So it's kind of a weapon, I guess. So the Valiard shoots the weapon with the weapon, and the beams just bounce off. Valiard retaliates and like sends like an explosive quill, and the master just runs out of there. Which that's kind of crazy, like a quill that just explodes. So it's like a grenade kind of thing.
Maybe it's Sonic.
Maybe it is. It's just so fast you can't see him, and you just see like the dust from him running.
Running around at the speed of sound.
Yeah. So so basically the Glitz is kind of stunned. The master's out of there. So yeah, that's happening. Also that's the master's TARDIS right now. I don't know, it's very dark.
It's very gothic.
It is very goth. So so this scene kind of cracked. Mel is watching this. They're watching all of this on the screen, and Mel is like, "Man, I gotta go into the Matrix and help the Doctor." So she basically runs up to the keeper of the Matrix, grabs the key off of his chest, and runs in. And so she goes. So she goes in and like gets him, and the Doctor. The hypnosis is broken, so they go back into the trial. And the Inquisitor is still adamant that she's going to do the trial. So the Doctor they go into the trial, and the Inquisitor says, oh, well, I'm really sorry, but this charge of genocide, I can't ignore that. So she says, all right, it's going to be the death sentence for you. And the Doctor just accepts it.
Nothing changed then.
Yeah, basically, like all that happened, and it's just like, it just carried on. So yeah, that was kind of a crazy moment. So there's this whole thing where the guards take him. He's on this chariot thing, and he's like, it's very poetic where he's like, because this Doctor is kind of quite poetic in the way that he's like imagines himself as this great being kind of thing. He's like, I'm gonna go out like a champ, and he's like accept it, and he's like, it has to be done. The Time Lords have cast their judgment, and I guess this is just the way it's meant to be. And Mel is like throwing hands because she's like, what do you mean you're just taking it, that you can't die? So the Doctor's being taken to his execution. During this cut back to the Master and Glitz, there's this like thing where the Master is trying to hypnotize Glitz because he's loyal to no one. So he tries to hypnotize Glitz with this, like, I don't really know what it is called, but Glitz doesn't work because Glitz is like, wow, do you know how much you could sell for that? So the Master's like, okay, fine, and offers him this chest of stuff. He's like, well, I can't say no to that. So they're teaming up again. But we go back to the Doctor, and Mel like goes and like tries to prevent him, and she kind of ruins it because this whole thing, him being told he's gonna die and stuff, actually turns out that was just the Matrix. That part wasn't real. The execution, like the Inquisitor never said any of that. So Mel's like, oh, I have to go help the Doctor. He thinks he's gonna be sent. So she goes in the Matrix and is like, tells the Doctor, and he's like, shh. He's like, no, don't say anything. And she does. And it kind of breaks the spell. And he's like mad at her because he's like, this was an easy way for me to go see the Valiard, and you've just ruined it. And she's like, oh, I thought you thought that you were gonna be executed. Like she thought she was helping, but it actually just kind of made it harder for them to find the Valiard. So they go back to I can't remember what it's called, but the factory thing. Oh, the fantasy factory, I think it's called. Okay, so the thing, they agree that the Master and Glitz are gonna go try get the Matrix tapes that contain secrets. Glitz in his head is like, man, I'm gonna sell them. And the Master's like, man, I'm gonna use that against everyone. That's what the Valiard has, the tapes, the Matrix tapes. And so everyone at this point goes to that factory place. Mr. Popplewick's office. They're all heading that way because that's like where everything is. Glitz finds them. He finds them in Mr. Popplewick's office. And then the doctor finds a list of judges that's written in his own handwriting. That's kind of weird. Glitz gets a gun out and he's like talking to Popplewick and he's like, take me to the proprietor, JJ Chambers, which I don't really know who that is. But he's willing to trade the doctor for the Matrix secrets and then gives them to the Master. So that works. Glitz basically just goes to the Master now, and they're both in the TARDIS with these kind of crazy secrets of the Time Lords. So that's not good. And then the Doctor's still there, and he's talking to Popplewick, and he's like, man, I know who you really are. Holly, who do you think he really is?
Is it going to be the Master? I don't know.
No,
I don't know.
Other guy. Say the other guy.
Who's the other guy?
Valiard.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Of course it's Valiard.
Of course it's Valiard. Yeah. No, he's been like hiding for a little bit.
I wonder where he went.
Yeah. So basically, he's there. That all kind of happened. A lot of these things happen at kind of the same time. So anyway, back to the courtroom. The Master is talking, and he's like to the Time Lords. And he's like, hey guys, the High Council. Yeah, so basically, due to all your tomfoolery with like corruption and stuff, there's a revolt in Gallifrey. And the Master's like, I am going to rule instead of you guys. And the people are on my side. So he gets all the tapes that Glitz have just given him and loads them into his TARDIS console. But at this point, he realizes, wait, they have these like old special effects, which I love. They're so goofy. Like this, like Star Trek, where they have like the lasers and stuff and all these like different, they have this like black and white, like, and like this wobbly effect where the screen goes all weird. And basically they go into a freeze in the Matrix because the tapes that the Master just loaded into his TARDIS, turns out they were fake. So his plan is kind of gone wrong. Mel goes into the courtroom and she evacuates all the judges because there's like a laser that's like pointed in the courtroom. And then these are the some more of the special effects, yeah. These are more of the visual effects or special effects, sorry. And so they kind of escape. And there was going to be like a massive feedback surge, but the Doctor fixed it and prevented it, which messes up the Valiard. But also that means that the Doctor can escape back to the courtroom. So that all happened really quickly, short space of time. So at this point, they kind of clean up. So basically, they're kind of tying up loose ends, The Master's been like stopped, The Valiard's gone, he's been stopped. The Doctor's back, everything's all good. So they calm down, clean everything up. So at this point, the Inquisitor's back, and she's like, thank you, Doctor. I'm sorry all this happened, but thank you for saving us. And he's like, that's literally my entire life. I just save people. But yeah,
it's his job.
It's just my job, yeah. And the Inquisitor is like, can I do anything for you? She obviously ends the trial because obviously at that point she's like, man, I cannot carry on with this. And
genocide aside,
yeah, she's like, oh, I guess this makes up for that. Yeah. And then she's like, she talks to the Doctor and she's like, no one is president right now on Gallifrey. I think you should do it. And I don't know how many times the Doctor's been offered the presidency, but it's been quite a few times. And the Doctor's like, no, it's not really for me, kind of thing.
Nah, I'm going to do my own thing.
I can't be living on the same planet, man. Like the Time Lords, like throughout his life, have kind of looked down on him for like a lot of them have never left the Citadel. So for him to leave it and go on other planets, they kind of look down on him. But he kind of has the opposite. He's like, man, you stay on the same planet in the same building your entire life. It is like two different worlds. So he like refuses it. He's like, nah, I'm good. And then he's like, but you would probably be a good candidate. So there's that. And she does, because at this point the Doctor still doesn't know about Perry. Like, as far as he's concerned, she's dead. So yeah, he's like, wait, what happened to Perry? Because like last thing I knew, I'd like my actions had killed her. So the Inquisitor's like, well, I can tell you that basically she's the queen, warrior queen. She's all good, and that's a picture of them.
Cute.
Yeah, they're all good, and he's like very relieved, obviously. So there's that, and he says, yeah, we don't know where the master is right now, but he obviously must be punished. But he says, please don't punish
The
Glitz.
entirety of Doctor Who.
Yeah,
Don't know
he's
where
like,
the master is, but he needs to be punished.
yeah, I don't know where he is, but someone should really do something about him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just the entire thing. And in the classic Doctor Who, it's crazy the amount of times the Master shows up. Like am I right in saying the Master is Matt Smith? Did the Master ever showed up for him? Because wasn't he dead at that point? The Master.
Oh, I don't particularly remember him all that much.
Yeah.
He's in David Tennant. He's definitely with Peter Capaldi.
Died. Yeah, because
I don't remember.
I don't remember
him showing up for Matt Smith.
I don't think he was in.
But I don't remember.
Oh, maybe. But anyway, there's longer periods of time in new Doctor Who, I feel like. Whereas like old Doctor Who, he shows up like every other episode. He's like one of the main guy. It's like basically Doctor Who and the Master. Like
I didn't know who he was for ages.
Yeah.
I was like, who this guy?
But yeah, he's kind of disappeared. The Doctor's like, okay, yeah, obviously the Master needs punishing, but Glitz, he's like, please don't punish Glitz. Please, can you like have some leniency for Glitz? Because, with him, he can be reformed. You can just teach him to be better. Master, no, you can't do that. But Glitz, just give him a chance, man. Teach him better. So the Doctor and Mel, everything's all wrapped up. Everything's over. At this part, I was slightly confused because, like, Mel and the Doctor leave in the TARDIS. And this bit kind of confused me because up until the point where the Doctor gets taken to the trial, he's with Perry. So in my mind, I'm like, why would he not just go get Perry? But I guess she got married. But then I'm like, did she get married because the Doctor left her? That's kind of in my brain. But also he takes Mel with him, which the story in The Matrix about Mel is meant to be from his future. So like,
that's confuzzling.
So like, this would mean he meets Mel at the trial after her being shown in his future on an adventure.
That's a bit of a River Song moment.
Yeah, that's like, in my mind, that's like, surely that's breaking.
That's like Booster Gold and Blue Beetle.
Yeah, I'm like, that's kind of weird, but also they're kind of strangers. Like, that's not the first time he's just had a stranger that just became his companion, like, immediately. I don't know. It's a very strange situation. But then they go off, and then she talks about carrot juice, because in the first part of the first episode with her, it was like, yeah, you're going to exercise. I'm going to make you carrot juice. You got to slim up, man. So she's a very gym lady. So he's like, no, not carrot juice. I hate it. So they go. And so they're gone. It's all good. We get back to the courtroom. The Inquisitor is leaving, but she's like ordering them. They're like, okay, Keeper, you need to improve the security of the Matrix and repair it while you're taking the Master and Glitz out of it. And she's like, you can do anything you need if necessary. And the Keeper is like, okay, all good, I can do that. Which, first of all, in my mind, it's like, so you're keeping the guy who let a load of people like break in and misuse, because Glitz at one point was like, yeah, we go in the Matrix all the time. You know, when the keeper was like, no one can get in there without the key. Glitz was like, no, we've been doing that for years. We've been selling a load of stuff in that Matrix. And so you're keeping that same guy in charge who doesn't even know what's going on. I don't know. That was a little funky to me. And then we look and, you know, he turns around, the keeper. Wait, that's not the keeper, that's the Valiard. What happened to the keeper? And that's the end of the episode. It's like the keeper's laughing. He's replaced, the Valiard's laughing, I mean. He's done a little switcheroo with him and the keeper. Yeah, that's the end of the episode. And I'm pretty sure the Valiard never got used again. I could be wrong. They leave this cliffhanger and I don't know. I feel like he never got used again. So yeah, that's the episode done. Holly, that was a very long journey we took.
Indeed.
What did you think about it?
It is certainly a very long series of Doctor Who. But I think it's quite interesting that it is all still focused on the singular story. So
it is. Yeah, it's like all wrapped up into one. And there are a lot of things where this is an entire season, right? And there were a lot of things that went wrong that meant that this was really long. Like that this wasn't the original plan, season 23. This kind of just happened and things happened, which kind of made it a bit jumbled up. But I really liked this season or story or whatever. I just always I feel like it's like, did you ever watch War Games, the Doctor Who episode, it's Second Doctor?
Don't think I have, sorry.
No. Okay, basically, it was a really long episode. So the episode was written, and then once the writer wrote the episode, the producers were like, oh, you have to extend it by 2 episodes. So it basically, they kind of do a load of things for no reason. They go back and forth a lot to like the same places, and it's just like extended way too much. Like it's a really good Doctor Who episode. Like it's not just one episode, it's like multiple. It's like an extra long thing. But it's just too long. And then they redid it, I think in the last couple of years they redid it, and I think they might have redone it in colour and released it. And I watched it, and basically what they did was shorten it. They cut out some of the unnecessary bits. And so I think the finished product that with this new release of War Games was really good because you get the whole storyline, but they took out the unnecessary like back and forth between places just but purely to extend the episode. I think this has the same problem where I really like the story and everything that happened, but it was just too long. Is that what you were like thinking as well?
Yeah, it is quite. It's a lot of, but I mean they try their best to tie up most of the loose ends.
Yeah,
which is nice by the end of it.
I was talking to my brother, and I'm thinking, you know, one of the episodes I think could have been cut and then just have 3 parts. So this is a 4-part thing. I think one of the first 3 could have been cut or shortened or something, and it could have been very similar. So I'm thinking like maybe you could have combined either the first 2 or do something like either cut the first one and only have the last 3, because that would still make sense, and just have a little bit of the first one. I don't know if that makes sense, but have it 3 episodes long though, so you have, you know, like Perry dying kind of thing. I think the whole first episode, the first 2 episodes, right, first 2 parts of the 4, I think they could have combined the first 2 parts into 1 part and then keep the last 2 parts very similar, and so making it a 3-part thing rather than a 4-part, because it was just that bit too long, I think.
Yeah.
And I think that you could have kept the story quite similar, but just cut out, because there are some bits that weren't completely relevant to the storyline. Did that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. I totally get where you're coming from.
Yeah, I think, you know, you could have, because I really like the idea of it and stuff, and I really liked it. And I really like the 6th Doctor. because I think when I was younger, I didn't like him because to me, he was just like an angry, like bratty doctor. But now actually giving it a chance and watching it, I
It
really
gives
like
him
the
charm.
character because it's very like he's very unique and he does have a heart, but he comes across kind of bratty in some points. But then
Yeah.
sometimes he kind of softens up. And I think actually he is a very good doctor. Because you could still tell he's him. I guess that's the thing with all the doctors. They all have their differences, but they're all the doctor, right?
Mm.
All of them.
They're
One,
all kind of the same. Like it's yeah. Like even
yeah,
though it's they have different personalities and different character traits and different likes and dislikes, they're still the same guy with the same morals, and I think that's what
yeah,
makes Doctor Who quite interesting.
yeah. And I think that's what's given it longevity.
That's the
Because there's
appeal.
like different things,
It's the
different
same guy,
eras.
but he has to prove that he has the same morals throughout the
Yeah,
different antics that he gets thrown
yeah,
into and the different
yeah,
opinions.
yeah. Anyway, this next bit, I'm gonna go through all the fits in this episode because there are a lot of fit changes, which kind of indicate what part of the episode it's in. So we have a trial fit, which he's in the entire time. He's in the first three parts. Every time he's in the courtroom watching The Matrix, he's in this trial fit, and then the last episode, he's in it because that's from the courtroom bit. So this is a trial fit. So he's got bit of a change from his original costume. He's got the same coat, but it's instead of a blue necktie, it's a red necktie, and it's a different coloured waistcoat. And he's got, I can't remember what the chains are called. You can't see it very well in this picture, but he always has chains on the waistcoat. I think that's like a Victorian thing. Because my dad has some actually. I don't know. He used to wear it a lot. With a waistcoat, he
Pocket.
had like gold chains. Yeah, the pocket watch thing. This doctor has like neon pink ones. He's just very colourful, and also the cats change quite a lot. The
I've
cat pin,
noticed
he has
that.
multiple. Yeah, I really like that part. So then it's not a completely new outfit, and he still has the same trousers as all the other outfits. But it's just little variations that I like that tell you what part of the story it's in. I think that's a good idea because it kind of makes it a bit less confusing. Next fit is the Mysterious Planet fit. So he's got his original necktie. This is a very original outfit for him. I don't think it's exactly the same. I can't quite remember to his original outfit. I can't remember if it's a different waistcoat. But everything else is normal for him. And he's just got an umbrella which matches the fit. He's had this umbrella in other episodes. So this is a Mysterious Planet fit. Next we have the Mind Warp fit, which actually, what's the difference between this and I don't know if there's a difference between this and the Mind Warp fit. I mean, this and the trial
Trial.
fit. I think it's the same.
Yeah.
I don't see any differences. And then the last one, Tear of the Vervoids fit, which
Got a yellow
new
tie.
tie, yeah, new tie, new waistcoat. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, I just wanted to put that in there.
That's
And
cool.
okay, this is one of my favorite parts, right? Okay, this is a theme tune. They created a theme tune specifically for this episode or for this series, I guess. Season of season 23. I think it's one of my favorite Doctor Who theme tunes because they have done different theme tunes throughout classic and new Doctor Who. They've done like they're all the same tune, but just little variations. You can tell what era it's kind of from. This one just is, I think, one of my favorites to the point where you can find this on YouTube, right? A trial of a Time Lord's theme tune on YouTube, but it's not on Spotify. But the theme tune was by Dominic Glynn, which I ain't got a clue who that is. But whoever he is, he cooked for this. I love the theme tune for this. And I don't know if that's a non-popular opinion or not, but I don't care. I love it. Probably my favorite Doctor Who theme tune. But yeah, I'm not saying it's the best, but it's my favorite, which isn't the
It's
same
up
thing.
there.
Yeah, I don't know how my taste goes. I have very wacky music taste. Like I'm a very prog rock kind of fella. Not that this is anywhere similar, but yeah. Also a big Radiohead fan because I just remembered someone was asking me about that the other day. That's like, I have very specific for my age taste.
Yeah.
And depending on who I ask, some people are like, man, that's such good taste. And some people like give me a weird look. So I don't really know how to take that, but I like what I like. So
yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So I just had to mention that because I can't talk about this and not talk about the theme tune because that's such a big thing. And I feel like maybe I should have done this at the start, but I'm doing it as a conclusion, I guess. The theme tune, just like, I love it. I really love. I know it does. And you probably haven't even heard it. After this, you gotta watch
give it a listen.
I mean, listen, not watch, but yeah. And also on the Doctor Who YouTube channel, they released it on the YouTube channel, and then at the end of it, you know, like the Doctor usually says something like, whoever the actor is says something like, subscribe to the Doctor Who YouTube channel. They got Colin Baker to do that, and they have brought him back a couple times. You know how they do like anniversary thingies and specials and stuff with like the older Doctors actors, but now they've done it like with David Tennant and did one with the Fifth Doctor, Peter Davidson, which, I mean, they already know each other obviously, but
all Davids have a hive mind.
Yeah, I have a Pinterest board on our on the A Roll of the Dice Pinterest page, and it's one of the boards is of classic Doctor Who, and then I've sectioned it, and one of the sections is multiple Doctors, and there's loads of them, and it's just the actors like goofing around. It's really funny, like behind the scenes things. Anyway, so that's the episode, man.
Yes,
I just had to do that. I took way longer to do this than I intended. I'm very sorry, but that does leave you an opportunity to do some info dumping on me for your off-duty logs.
Indeed.
You can do a two-parter as well.
Maybe.
Whenever it comes up.
But till then, we have to go back on duty and watch Babylon 5.
Also, just as we're closing, appreciate this Doctor Sonic Screwdriver. Some of them call it a Sonic Lance. I'm not really sure.
The pregnancy
But first of all, he has like 5 of these, and they're like disposable or something. I'm not really sure why he has multiple. Like in the 6th Doctor Cyberman episode, he's like handing them out like candy. But why does it look like a pregnancy test? It's like, you know, 13th Doctor when she regenerated and she had to make like a sonic screwdriver, and she made it out of like spoons or something.
Yeah.
It's like the 6th Doctor, I imagine,
he made it out of a pregnancy test.
Yeah, he was locked in like a pharmacy or something in my mind, and this is the result.
20 of them.
Yeah, because for some reason, whatever, he couldn't just make one. Is like, yeah. So actually, I have the idea I should make some art of like him, some like fan art of him in a pharmacy making these. I'm gonna do that actually.
Oh yeah, put that on Instagram.
Yeah, stay tuned for that, man.
Oh,
and that's a segue. Check out our link tree, which is in the description, because that has all of our links, like even the Pinterest, Instagram. What do we have? Patreon. We have all the things, and also our website. What is that? www.arollofthedice.co.uk. We have stuff that you can buy, or I don't really know. But if you're listening on Spotify, look at the YouTube channel and just look at some of the images. You don't have to listen to this again on the YouTube channel, but just look at some of the PowerPoint. Some more sense. Yeah, and it'll just be a funny thing for you to just look at the images. I think you would that would be a good use of your time.
Definitely.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you for sticking with us, man.
Oh yeah.
Whatever troop has made it through this far.
Salute.
That being Holly. Thanks, Holly. This was a very intense journey. Thanks, man. Anyway, I'm gonna close off. I don't know how to end this. Bye.
Signing off for now. See you next time. Babylon 5.